So, another one of these. Oh, I hate these videos so much. So, if you're familiar with what those titles generally mean, TT passed on this morning. I know he wasn't in a lot of my videos, but he was a very special boy. We think it started out yesterday because he didn't want to eat breakfast, which he's a hog, so it was kind of strange that he didn't want breakfast or anything. He was just, we saw him, we're like, okay, he probably just missed breakfast or something, he'll eat. I mean, he's an outdoor cat, you don't really pay too much attention to them, especially when it's weather this cold. You just kind of like let them do their thing, because they'll snuggle up and just sleep for the whole day, basically, sometimes. We didn't take it too personally or anything, but then this morning, he didn't want to eat again. He purposefully had food put in front of him and walked away from it. I came out and I found him sleeping under the porch, which is strange because we have heating pads for them to help him keep warm during the winter, but he just was under the porch. So I went ahead and I just pulled him out, and he does not like to be held. He is like 110% against being held. The only kind of human contact he'll sometimes tolerate is being petted. Aside from that, he is like done. Well, that and brushing. He liked being brushed. But I just picked him up and he completely melted in my arms, and I knew there was something wrong with him because he was breathing really, really heavily. So my mom called the vet and we got him in right away. We were at the office within the hour. And they were really nice. They rushed us back there really quick. They went to get his temperature and he wasn't reading. The thermometer goes all the way down to 92, so his body temperature was already really, really low. I mean, the vet came right in. She immediately said, I don't think this is going to be good. Like, we could do chest x-rays and stuff, but chances are, what it kind of seems like with, you know, without any much of an examination, that like his lungs were full of liquid is what they were guessing, and that there was nothing good that could come from it. So we said to go ahead and let him go because he was in pain. He didn't really want to do anything. As we got there, he just got worse, and he eventually stopped sitting up and just flopped over, and he was breathing really, really hard. They came in to give him the euthanasia shot, and as they were trying to find a vein with blood pressure, he actually passed away. He passed away before we could put him down. We can't be 100% sure about it. When stuff like this happens, it's generally a heart thing, and it comes on suddenly. There wouldn't really have been anything we could have done if we caught it sooner, except maybe put him out of his misery quicker. So we lost the last of our outdoor boys. Now, TT doesn't really have a whole lot of a story behind him. It's sad to say that, but he's kind of the very typical case. He was a feral cat. He was good at hunting. He just, after we got Cookie, he started hanging around, and so we caught him, got him neutered, and released him. That's just what we did. My mom actually named him Thunder Thighs because we thought he was a girl. Like, we think all our cats are like, oh my god, a girl coming around, we're gonna have kittens again, aren't we? That's our first thought every time. And my mom was like, there's no way that's a boy cat. Look at those thighs. He has Thunder Thighs. And she started calling him Thunder Thighs. And she ended up calling him Mr. T for short. I just called him TT because it just was easier. And like Cookie and Chili, he started letting us pet him, but he was always the most distant. He didn't want anyone to touch him unless one of his friends was nearby that he could rub his head on their face or something. He was definitely like the most clingy out of all of the cats. He got pretty upset when his best friend, Chili, passed away a while ago. But he worked through it, and I think most of the reason was Cookie. You know, he still had one of his best friends, and he turned from giving all the love and attention he always gave to Chili over to Cookie. Because, I mean, he always was sleeping with Chili. He was always rubbing heads with someone. He didn't want to eat unless his friend was there to intertwine tails with. I mean, it was adorable. And that switched from being Chili after he passed to Cookie. And Cookie, he wasn't the biggest social cat. He was, whenever they go to rub heads, he kind of turned away like, oh god, not this again. But he opened up a little more with TT and just had some fun. But then after Cookie passed away, just mortified, he was like the last one standing of basically what I call the Three Musketeers. I mean, I'll put a picture on screen. They were the closest cats in the world. And TT was actually very distant for a little bit, and then he kind of just was like, I need a friend. And he actually did something I never thought he'd do. He turned to humans for friendship. I mean, this is a cat that was born wild and just showed up at our doorstep. But you know, he'd go out there and he'd come up to me and rub his head against me and look at me and meow and just follow me around. And that was something that he had never done before. He only did that with the other cats. He used to like that sometimes with my mom, but never as much as he was with me. And oddly enough, he became more open to strangers. He used to not let anyone but my mom and me touch him. But, you know, our neighbors came over and he walked right up to them and let him pet him. I'm like, what? Although he tried to get along with Lady because he still needed a buddy, and I could tell he walked up to her and was like, and then he'd stop, like asking, can I rub on your head? I just want a friend. And she would go meow, 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 and just swat him away. And Lady is the biggest jerk of a cat in the world, okay? She's like nothing for friends, I swear to God. But he kept trying, and the two have actually been fighting for a while now. I had to build them separate shelters on opposite sides of the house because they wouldn't sleep even near each other. And if Lady wouldn't want a shelter, TT would chase her out of it. But, you know, if he wanted to go and just have fun or sleep together or something, she wouldn't have any of it. It was like, every time one of them tried to mate up, the other one was like, no, you were mean to me, so screw you. And it was like, hey, do you want me? No, you were mean to me, screw you. It was a vicious cycle. But he gave us a lot of love. He definitely had a lot to give, despite being a feral cat. And, you know, he outlived all of his friends, so he went through a lot in his life. So buddy, this is for you. Alright, so thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Later.